The long-awaited NCAA sanctions finally surfaced this morning. We will give you live coverage of everything you need to know up next. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Carson.
And I'm Grace McClanahan.
The NCAA sanctions erupted on the Ole Miss campus this morning, and many were not happy.
That's right, Carson, but many fans were confused about the details of the sanctions. Fortunately for us, we have SportsWatch reporter Colin Rivera to explain what the sanctions mean. Colin?
Thanks, Grace. From anger to relief, there were mixed emotions from the NCAA finally releasing the sanctions pinned on the Ole Miss football team. Here are the official details of what the team is being hit with. Many fans thought that the NCAA imposed a 2-year bowl ban. That is not the case. They simply included the self-imposed bowl ban that Ole Miss had previously tagged on for this season. So it is only the 1 year. There were additional scholarships taken away as well. That would be the total amount to 13 over the next 3 years. And finally, there was the $179,000 fine and a 4-year probation period. Our SportsWatch reporter Tori Reese has been covering the developing story all day long. Tell us more about what these sanctions mean to the Ole Miss program, Tori.
Thanks, Colin. Like you just said, with the NCAA releasing those sanctions against Ole Miss, the message was very clear by both Chancellor Jeffrey Vitter and Athletic Director Ross Bjork. The fight still continues. They plan to appeal that 2018 postseason ban. Again, they are implementing that self-imposed ban of 2017 because of the 6 wins that they had. They were eligible, so they are appealing that 2018 postseason ban along with that claim of lack of institutional control. They said that that's unclear, unfair for the NCAA for them to sanction that out. They said that the turning point in this investigation was the 2016 NFL draft. They said regarding the former offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil and the allegations that came out with that. After that, they said that they felt isolated. They felt left in the dark. They felt that they were shut out by the NCAA as far as communication goes. Now, that being said, the appeal process is 15 days to submit an official appeal to the NCAA, but they already have boots on the ground on this one. They already have documents, and they're going to submit that appeal next week. Without a doubt, they are going to fight this one. Now, that being said, as far as transfers go, the rising seniors are the only ones that are able to transfer out freely. Anyone with multiple years of eligibility would have to go through the same transfer process that the NCAA allows as a normal transfer student would. Now again, that's big news surrounding swirling rumors around quarterback Shea Patterson and other offensive defensive weapons around that side of the ball. So again, we'll keep you up to date on what we find out about that. But again, It is Bjork who said that the confirmation that they will continue to fight on. They don't have any potential transfers as far as anyone learning to transfer out of that. But again, they will be under a 3-year probationary period, along with additional scholarship reductions and additional fines. Along with that, again, the mood with both Vitter and Bjork is one of, they said that they brought up information from over 30 years ago to include into this investigation, and they said that that's unfair. When is a clean slate needed?
So, Tori, what's the feeling like at the practice facility today?
Thanks, Colin. Colin, the mood around the locker room, again, they met in the practice facility around 10 a.m., and I'm going to be quite frank, it was sad, it was somber. Heads were down, but they said, the message that Matt Luke came out and said is that we've been through this all again in this 2017 season. Again, we will continue to go through this in the 2018 season if need be, but again, we're going to fight for you. We're going to try to appeal that ban because it's unfair for the players. Again, reporting from the Manning Center, Tori Reese, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Thanks, Tori. While many may forget what Ole Miss had done in the violations dating back to 2010, our own Max McCann explains how they got to these sanctions.
The day is finally here as Ole Miss received its final sanctions from the NCAA. For some Ole Miss fans, this saga has been going on for so long that many forget where it started. It actually began over 5 years ago when the NCAA first showed up to campus to investigate the Ole Miss women's basketball program under then head coach Adrian Wiggins. Rumors began swirling around that time the NCAA was also investigating the football program about ACT test fraud that occurred under Houston Nutt back in 2010. Two of his staffers, Chris Vaughn and David Saunders, conspired to rig test scores for 3 potential recruits. To this day, it has been one of the more serious allegations levied against the program.
I have decided to attend the University of Ole Miss.
Fast forward a year to National Signing Day in 2013. Ole Miss landed its best recruiting class in history, landing the nation's #1 player in Robert Kondichi, including other highly touted players such as wideout Laquan Treadwell and offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil. This was a big day for Ole Miss, but many outsiders began accusing Ole Miss and new head coach Hugh Freeze of cheating to get those high-caliber prospects. These rampant accusations came flying with the NCAA already on campus. Hugh Freeze made matters worse with a tweet that was quickly taken down that read, "If you have facts about a violation, send it to compliance@olemiss.edu. If not, please do not slander these young men or insult their family." Many observers saw this tweet as a shot at NCAA investigators. 3 years would go by without any new developments in the NCAA case. During that time, Ole Miss turned that recruiting success from 2013 into wins on the field, culminating with a big Sugar Bowl win in January of 2016. Another big signing class was around the corner as well. However, a month after that Sugar Bowl win, Ole Miss announced it received its first notice of allegations from the NCAA that included 13 violations that occurred under both Hugh Freeze and Houston Nutt. As a whole, the allegations were nothing that would suggest the program was about to receive the hammer by the NCAA, and Ole Miss was still able to sign a big class that spring that included Shea Patterson and A.J. Brown. Many thought the NCAA issues would be over at that point, but that would not be the case.
With the 13th pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Laramie Tunsil, tackle, Ole Miss.
In what was supposed to be a big night for Ole Miss, as a bunch of their players were set to go in the first round of the NFL Draft, Laramie Tunsil's social media accounts were hacked, including messages that appeared to indicate Tunsil was receiving payments from Ole Miss coaches. In the press conference afterwards, Tunsil admitted the text messages were true.
So, was it an exchange between you and your coach of money?
I had to say yeah.
Soon after, the NCAA would reopen the investigation into the Ole Miss football program. However, this incident involving Tunsil was never included in the second notice of allegations.
Earlier today, our outside legal counsel received the university's notice of allegations dealing with the football program.
A year later, in February of 2017, with the NCAA cloud firmly over the program, Ole Miss announced it received its second notice of allegations, with 21 new allegations that occurred exclusively under Hugh Freeze.
I am extremely disappointed to learn that any member of my staff violated any SEC or NCAA rules, and as the head coach, I regret those actions.
Ole Miss also announced it was self-imposing a bowl ban and would be forfeiting SEC postseason money along with scholarship reductions during the 2017 season. As more facts came out about the second notice of allegations, it was learned that many of the allegations in the second notice were from a current Mississippi State football player named Leo Lewis. Lewis alleged he received $10,000 from an Ole Miss booster, as well as free gear from an Ole Miss apparel store, Rebel Rags. Lewis's statements had some inconsistencies in them, however, so when the Committee on Infractions hearing occurred in September in Covington, Kentucky, Ole Miss fought most of those allegations. Despite Ole Miss's compelling case, the NCAA ultimately decided to levy another bowl ban against the program. What happens next remains to be seen. Max McCann, NewsWatch Ole Miss.